All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to the one place that actually cares more about your net worth than your Instagram perfect house photos. Today, we're taking a sledgehammer to the great starter home delusion.
Yeah, and guess what? Your retirement account is probably what paid for them. Look, if that stings a little, it's supposed to. We're here to talk about the brutal reality of homeownership, not the fantasy they sell you on home improvement shows.
So let's start with this number 5 times. That is the staggering gap right now between the median home price and the median household income. The so called American dream has become a financial nightmare, and way too many of us are walking into it with our eyes wide open.
You know that feeling you're making six figures, but you still feel totally broke, like you're just treading water? Well, there's a name for that: house poor. It happens because we've all been sold a lie that a house is an investment first and a shelter second. It's not. It's an incredibly expensive place to live. Okay, so let's dismantle the first and, honestly, the most dangerous lie of them all. And it starts with the very people who hand you the keys, along with a mountain of life-altering debt. I need you to really let this sink in. The bank is not your financial advisor. They are not your friend. They are a business. And you know what their product is? Debt. They make more money when you borrow the absolute maximum amount possible, not when you build wealth for yourself. And this is where it just gets insane. Look at the difference here. The bank will cheerfully tell you that you can afford a mortgage that eats up 40% of your income before taxes. But you know what people who are actually wealthy do? They keep their housing costs at or below 25%. That gap between 25% and 40%, that's your entire financial future right there.
And this is exactly what gets destroyed in that gap, when 40 cents of every dollar you earn is immediately gone, just vaporized by your house payment. How in the world are you supposed to save for retirement, build an emergency fund, invest? You can't. It's simple math. You don't own the home, you're just renting it from the bank, and the price is your future. So we've covered the mortgage, but if you think that's where the bleeding stops, I've got some bad news. That monthly payment isn't the whole story. It's just the cover charge to get into a very expensive club where everything is constantly breaking. So just take a second and really think about this. Put that giant mortgage payment out of your mind. What does it actually cost per year just to keep the lights on and the roof from leaking? Ready for this? $21,000. That's the average. Annually. We're talking property taxes, insurance, repairs, general maintenance, utilities, all the stuff they conveniently forget to mention in the glossy brochure. It's literally a second invisible mortgage. Let me put that a different way, because that number is huge. That's almost $1,800 every single month, just vanishing from your account. And for what? For the honor of paying a plumber a fortune to fix a burst pipe on a Sunday? It's the price of admission. And it is brutally high. And all of this pressure puts you in this dangerous psychological state called tunneling. When your finances are that tight, your brain literally can't focus on anything other than the next big bill. All that mental energy you could use for planning, for strategizing, for building real wealth, it's gone. You're just stuck in survival mode. But I can hear you saying it now. What about the equity? Isn't that the whole point? Ah, yes, equity. The magic word, the justification for all this financial pain. Well, let's pull back the curtain and talk about the real price of that equity. Just look at this. It's what you could call equity inversion. For the person who's house poor, almost their entire net worth is a prisoner inside the walls of their home. It's illiquid. You can't spend it. For actual millionaires, their home is just one part of their portfolio. The rest isn't things they can actually use. Stocks, businesses, cash. So when a real investment opportunity comes along, who do you think is ready to pounce? And this right here is the silent killer. It's the most devastating cost of being house poor, and it never shows up on any statement. It's not about the money you're spending, it's about the staggering amount of money you're not making. Let's make this painfully simple. That extra $1,000 a month you're stretching to afford the bigger house? If you had just bought a more modest home and invested that difference in a simple S&P 500 index fund, after 30 years, it could have grown to over $2.3 million. You didn't just buy a bigger kitchen, you traded a multi-million-dollar retirement for it. So if the mansion isn't the goal, then what is? It's time we completely redefine what it means to be wealthy. And I'll give you a hint, it has absolutely nothing to do with square footage. This right here, this is the whole game. Real wealth is optionality. It's freedom. It's having the power to make decisions based on what you want to do, not what you have to do to pay the mortgage. That is the ultimate luxury.
This should be your new mantra. The goal is not a bigger house. The goal is a lower overhead. The person in a small paid-off house with a huge investment portfolio is infinitely wealthier than the person in a glass mansion who's one paycheck away from disaster. It's not about what you own, it's about what doesn't own you.
So how do you start? It's pretty simple. Step 1. Stop taking financial advice from people whose commission depends on the size of your loan. And step 2. Start believing your spreadsheet. The numbers don't have a vested interest. The numbers don't lie. And that brings us to your homework. I want you to go and calculate your real all-in housing cost. Mortgage, property tax, insurance, plus that $1,800 a month for everything else. Get the total and then figure out what percentage of your income that is. And when you see that number, you have to ask yourself a very serious question. Am I a homeowner or am I just the bank's best tenant on a 30-year lease? Think about it.